Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, text number 33. Sutta Uvacha Iti Kaushara Vakyatham Ashritya Bhagavad Katham Shaddhanandam Param Lebhe Mahabhagavato Dvija. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sri Suta Goswami continued, My dear Brahmana, Kshatta, Vidura, the great devotee of the Lord, achieved transcendental bliss by hearing the narration of the pastime of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the authoritative source of the sage Kausharava Maitreya, and he was very pleased. Please repeat the translation. Sri Suta Goswami continued, My dear Brahmana, Kshatta, Vidura, the great devotee of the Lord, achieved transcendental bliss by hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the authoritative source of the sage Kausharava Maitreya, and he was very pleased. Purport. If anyone wants to derive transcendental pleasure by hearing the pastime of the Lord, he must hear from the authoritative source. As explained here, Maitreya heard the narration from his bona fide spiritual master, and Vidura also heard from Maitreya. One becomes an authority simply by presenting whatever he has heard from his spiritual master. And one who does not accept a bona fide spiritual master cannot be an authority. This is clearly explained here. If one wants to have transcendental pleasure, he must find a person with authority. It is also stated in the Bhagavatam that simply by hearing from an authoritative source with the ear and the heart, one can relish the pastimes of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible. Sanatana Goswami, therefore, has especially warned that one should not hear anything about the personality of the Lord, from the lips of a non-devotee. Non-devotees are considered to be like serpents. A milk is poisoned by the serpent's touch. So, although the narration of the pastime of the Lord is as pure as milk, when administered by the serpent-like non-devotees, it becomes poisonous. Not only does it have no effect in transcendental pleasure, but it is dangerous also. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has warned that no description of the pastime of the Lord should be heard from the Mayavada or impersonalist school. He has clearly said, Mayavadi Bhashya Sunila Haya Sarvanasha. If anyone hears the Mayavadi's interpretation of the pastime of the Lord or their interpretation of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, or any other Vedic literature, then he is doomed. Once one is associated with the impersonalist, he can never understand the personal feature of the Lord and his transcendental pastimes. Suta Goswami was speaking to the sages headed by Shaunaka, and therefore he addressed them in this verse as Dvija, twice born. The sages assembled in Naimisharanya hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami were all Brahmanas. But to acquire the qualification of a Brahmana is not everything. Merely to be twice born is not perfection. Perfection is attained when one hears the pastime and activities of the Lord from a bona fide source. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gathadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this chapter is the killing of demon Hiranyaksha. Varahadeva, after killing Hiranyaksha, he returned to his abode, and a nice story, the narration has been told by Maitreya Rishi to Vidura. Bhagavatam has many conversations like this. One is Suta Goswami speaking to the sages of Naimisharanya. And Suta Goswami, to tell about it, he refers that Shukadeva Goswami told this to Parikshit. And he also refers, Maitreya has told this to Vidura. So Bhagavatam has many layers of conversations quoted. So having explained this, Suta Goswami said, the Vidura is called Kshatta. Kshatta means counselor or minister. He was Kshatta for the Kuru dynasty. So he heard this. After hearing Bhagavata Katham about the Lord Bhagavan, Katham, his pastimes, what happened to him? Kshattanandam param lebhe. He became very, very blissful, very happy after hearing about it. Then he also mentioned, he heard it from a bona fide authoritative source, that is Maitreya. That is why he was very pleased, very happy. This happiness, what explained here, is not the happiness which we think in this world as happiness. Today we think happiness is derived through our senses. Somebody gives me good food to eat, I am happy. Somebody gives me other entertainment to my senses, I will be happy. If my body is taken care very nicely, if I get a AC room, if I get good facilities, then I will be happy. So all this happiness is also a happiness, but this is not that happiness. What? By hearing Bhagavatam one gets param, very supreme bliss. In front of the happiness one can derive by hearing about Lord, the happiness which we can experience in this world is compared to a drop of ocean water. If you are very thirsty, you are in the middle of the desert, all around blazing heat, and you are very thirsty, somebody says, come on, I'll give you some water. Open your mouth. You open your mouth, he gives one drop of water. That is also a water, but it is not sufficient. The happiness which we can derive in this world is compared to the drop of water in the middle of desert. for a thirsty man. Therefore, we observe that people work very hard, thinking that I will get lot of water, lot of happiness. But once they are there, where they dreamt for so many years, once they are there, they find, Arey, this is not giving me happiness. I was thinking this is happiness. This is the nature of material happiness. But we are devotees of the Lord. We understand that this happiness in the material consciousness is very little. We should explore the happiness which is explained in Bhagavatam. Only when we know there is a supreme happiness, then we'll be interested to do that. We always work with certain goal. Suppose you are going and selecting a college, you will see, if I join that college, will I get good placement? Then you might select. By seeing the end result of the studying in the college is the criteria, whether I should spend next 4 years or 3 years in that college, is it not? Or somebody offers a offer letter in a company, and you join a job, they give a offer letter. It is 3 pages or 4 pages. You open the last page first and see how much. The amount is satisfactory to you, then you will read rest of the content. If the amount is less, then you are not interested to read the entire document. See, we are always after a result. What I will get, then it gives me interest to read, do something, take some action. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is giving an idea to us. By hearing the narration of the pastime of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from Guru, the authoritative source, the Vidura was very pleased, very happy he became. After the Mahabharata war, Vidura went searching for the spiritual transcendental happiness and the source of happiness, and understanding this. He was already a great devotee of Krishna. He went and approached Uddhava, because Uddhava heard from Krishna. Krishna, before leaving this planet, disappearing, instructed Uddhava with deep meanings and understanding of life. That's called Uddhava Gita. So Uddhava had heard this. So Vidura approached Uddhava and said, my dear Uddhava, actually Vidura is elderly by age, Uddhava is younger. Uddhava is cousin brother of Krishna, Vasudeva's brother's son. So he went and approached Uddhava. Uddhava is a very elevated personality, confidential servant of the Lord. Can you please teach me the science of God? Can you please tell me more about Krishna? Uddhava said, there is one more learned person than me existing. This is one etiquette in the Vaishnava community, that if there is another qualified Vaishnava than us, generally Vaishnavas think I am less qualified and others are more qualified than me. That is the consciousness of a Vaishnava. And Vaishnava not supposed to, a younger or less knowledge Vaishnava not supposed to speak. He is supposed to give opportunity for a knowledgeable, experienced Vaishnava to speak. So Uddhava said, Maitreya Rishi, he also has heard from Krishna. He is very experienced, he is knowledgeable, he is a great person. I am very small. Probably I am not the right person to speak. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually displayed this kind of great qualities of a Vaishnava. Trinadapi sunechena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. Once Sanatana Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hey Mahaprabhu, I heard you have given very wonderful explanation on Bhagavatam to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Can you please narrate that to me? I am very keen to know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replies, No. Me and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya are two madmen. We sometimes speak something nonsense. You should not be interested to hear about this. No, Mahaprabhu, you spoke about this verse, you spoke nicely. No, I don't remember those things, what I speak. Sometimes out of madness I speak something. However, Sanatan, in your association, I may able to recollect something by your grace. If I am able to recollect something, I will try to tell you that. If I am able to tell you what you ask, it is only by your association, not by my qualification I can speak. Like this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Sanatana Goswami. So this quality is a quality of a devotee. Quality of a devotee in the assembly, in the association of devotees is that I think I am less qualified, other devotee is more qualified. But when the devotee goes to the assembly of non-devotees, should be very merciful to give the knowledge to non-devotees. But in the association of devotees, the devotee should think, I am less qualified. So Vidura said, the Uddhava said, go to Maitreya and talk to him. So Vidura hence goes to Maitreya and asks, hence Maitreya narrates all these pastimes to Vidura. That is why it is recorded here. So how the Bhagavatam is coming? Maitreya has heard from Krishna. Maitreya spoke that to Uddhava, Vidura, and that has been spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit. That is heard by Suta Goswami, and he is speaking that to Shaunakadi Rishis in Naimisharanya. That is why these are the three loops inside the loops of conversation. What is the benefit of hearing like this? We should hear from an authoritative source. The benefit of hearing Krishna Katha is one will get pleased. One will become very happy. Because it invokes love for Krishna in our heart. Those who do not have any love for Krishna, we have love for so many things, but we do not have any love for Krishna. For them, hearing Bhagavatam is purifying. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam Bhagavata sevaya. By hearing Bhagavata Purana, by speaking, by hearing about Krishna's pastimes, we get purified. Means our anarthas, kama krodhadi anarthas will go away, we get purified. Now what about those who are purified? Then are they required to hear? No, those who are purified, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantihi. So those who are already achieved the purification, for them the glories and narrations of the Lord will give lot of happiness. It's very easy to understand in this world, let me tell you like this. Suppose there is a great person, a great personality. You do not know much about that person. Probably in a material explanation, say a freedom fighter, or some great achiever, or your own great grandfather, and you don't know about it. First time someone narrates you, you know that person is so great, he has done this, we get to know about that person. And hearing more and more about that person, we develop attraction for that person. Let me take the example of a movie. When the movie begins, you may not have any feeling for good people in the movie, a hero or heroine or anybody in the movie. When you start watching, it is just you are seeing somebody is coming, going. As the movie reveals the story, slowly you build upon, oh, this person is so nice. They'll show the scene, he's helping a poor man, she's helping a poor man, tolerating all difficulties and helping others. Slowly, the story in the movie will build the character of that person. Starting with no affection, no importance, by knowing more and more about that personality, you develop the connection. So in the 3 hours movie, 2.5 hours is past. Now the climax is coming, end of the movie is coming. Now you are at your toes. You feel that justice should be met for this person. A lot of injustice has happened. If something goes wrong for that person whom we identified as the right person in the movie, and some people cry. There are some sad ending movies earlier. When the movie gets over, when they're exiting from the theater, people used to distribute the tissue paper for them because they're all crying. What happened? When you started watching movie, you didn't have any attraction for that person. At the end, you came out crying. So now, Bhagavatam, what it does is, first it introduces Krishna to us. Unfortunate that somebody has to introduce Krishna to us. Krishna is our father. It first introduces who is Lord, then it builds on. Then we understand, oh, Krishna is everything. From Lord is what my existence is because of Lord. Lord is doing everything for me. Then we start recognizing what all Krishna has done in my life. How Lord has protected me in all circumstances, all situations. We start realizing God's role in our life. Start experiencing that. Then as we advance, we develop our relationship with Krishna. When a relationship is developed, every information about that Lord is very, very connecting to us. That is why people who after watching movie come back, next day newspaper, that hero or heroine or the actor of that movie, that some news comes, he got married, he got divorced, he did this, we are interested to read about that person. We are connected to that person. A mother or father who is connected about the son or daughter, you go and describe the greatness, your daughter is so nice. To the mother explain, or father, you go and explain about the achievement of the children. Parents start crying. Because out of love, out of affection. So now, the Vidura is a great devotee of Krishna. And he is hearing the message from an authoritative source. Means why authoritative source is stressed here? Because only authoritative source will know rightly the right position of Krishna. How it has to be explained. They do not demean Krishna. They exactly explain as they heard. So when it is heard like that, we start the advanced devotees. They start showing their emotions. They cry, they dance, they laugh. Sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also displayed the movements like falling unconscious by hearing about the Lord. These are ecstatic symptoms of great devotees hearing about the Lord. Now, we come to know by hearing Bhagavatam, I can develop love for Krishna, bhakti for Krishna, and I can experience this happiness. Anandam param lebhe. Kshatta anandam param lebhe. I can become happy. Now we should become interested to hear about Bhagavatam. So those who are interested in this happiness, which is ocean of happiness, which is real happiness, which never gets over. It only increases. If you want that happiness, then one should hear Bhagavatam. So this verse gives us hint that why we should read or why should hear Bhagavatam, because you will become pleased, you will become satisfied, you will become happy. So hearing about Bhagavatam from authoritative source. But if you go to what is unauthoritative source then? One of the major unauthoritative source from where we may also get spiritual knowledge is the Mayavada school, who say God is not a person, impersonal, who say finally you are also God. It is very offending. Suppose somebody says your father is not a person, he is energy, he does not have legs, he does not have hands. Your father cannot speak, your father cannot see, he does not have any shape. How will you feel? What are you talking? Isn't it? Then also said, no, you are also equivalent to your father. And person who has sort of regard for father, he will feel, who are you to tell all these things to me and my father? And you have no idea. So, telling Krishna is coming and performing pastimes. Krishna is a personality of Godhead. He's a spiritual person. And he is saying Krishna does not have hand, Krishna does not have leg, Krishna does not have arm. It's very offending for devotees. So Mayavada's school of thought is to say Krishna or God has no form. So they start with glorifying God. God is great, powerful, and all those things. Finally they say, you are also God, I am also God. So this is very dangerous to hear. Mayavadi Bhashya Shunile Haya Sarvanash. Because that person, he keeps on talking about God, we get attracted. But the conclusion he will say, you are also God, I am also God. So this is very dangerous, because then how will you develop bhakti for Krishna? We can never enjoy the transcendental bliss. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said this, Mayavadi Bhashya Shunile Haya Sarvanash. So once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan. On the way Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan, Kashi comes, Varanasi. He visited Kashi. In the Kashi, there are a lot of Mayavadi sannyasis from the Shankara school of thoughts who say God has no form. They saw this sannyasi They saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as one sannyasi, not Lord. Very sentimental, dancing, crying. He has some more sentimental followers. They would criticize. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would smile at it and move on. He went to Vrindavan. But in Jagannath, the Kashi, there two devotees were staying. One devotee's name is Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra is the father of Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami out of 6 Goswamis. One more devotee's name is called Chandrasekhara. These two devotees were staying there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had sent them from Bengal to stay in Kashi. And Lord returned back from Vrindavan. Again he came to Kashi. There he stayed for a few weeks. So every day he would go again chanting. And again all these Mayavadi sannyasis, they would sit and study Vedanta. They would criticize. Look at that group, dancing, chanting on the streets, sentimentals, say Krishna, Krishna, cry. So they would make fun. These two devotees were not able to tolerate, Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar. They went and submitted to the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My dear Lord, please be merciful on us. We are not able to tolerate what they are speaking. They are blaspheming you. We are not able to tolerate. Please do something. Please show some mercy on them. Lord would smile at it and leave it at there, not attend to that. Once when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and these devotees were discussing, one Brahmana came and said, I am organizing a treat, calling all the sadhus at my home for a lunch, prasadam. I invited all the sannyasis. There was a prominent sannyasi in Kashi at that time. His name was Prakashananda Saraswati. This Prakashananda Saraswati had 60,000 disciples. And Prakashananda Saraswati disciples, along with so many sannyasi disciples, were also invited. Brahman also invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are also invited. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his mercy, he said, yes, I accept the invitation. So next day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the Brahmana's house. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there, already all these Mayavadi sannyasis were seated. For them, very nice asana, like I am sitting in asana. So asanas were provided. They are all sitting. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there and first he washed his hands and legs. And he found they're all very grave sitting. Hey, who is this? Who has come? A disturbance. A sentimentalist. They were very neglectful of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They did not even think of giving some space for him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed his feet and sat. He sat somewhere where leg washing place somewhere in the corner he sat. Then Lord thought, Lord is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thought, let me show some favor on this Mayavadi sannyasis. They think they know everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting there exhibited a prabha all around his body. There was a illumination of millions of suns. And all sannyasis saw the illumination which is coming out of the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They immediately got up from their seats. They went and Prakashananda Saraswati himself went and told, hey, please come. Why are you sitting here? They didn't tell, till now they were not noticing him. Now they said, why are you sitting in this dirty place? Come inside. Sit nicely. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, I am not a great person to sit like that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances to all the sannyasis. So after sitting in the ground, it is said, Vashiya Karila Kicho Aishwarya Prakasha Mahatejo Maya Vapu Koti Suryas Bhasa. See, after sitting on the ground, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his mystic power by manifesting an effulgence as brilliant as illumination of billions of suns. I am reading the translation. When the sannyasis saw the brilliant illumination of the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their minds were attracted. They all immediately gave up their sitting place and stood in respect. The leader of all Mayavadi sannyasis present was named Prakashananda Saraswati. After standing up, he addressed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as follows with great respect. Ihan Aisha, Sunaha Sripada, Apavitra Sthane Vaisa Kiba Avasada. This is the Bengali verse. Please come here, Your Holiness, Sripada. Why do you sit in that unclean place? What has caused your lamentation? He's saying, you're unhappy. Why? Prabhu kahe, Lord Chaitanya said, Ami hina sampradaya, tomara sabara sabhaya vishite nayuyaya. I belong to lower order of sannyasis. Therefore, I do not deserve to sit with you. You are a big sannyasi, I am a small sannyasi. I don't sit with you. Prakashananda Saraswati, however, caught Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally by hand and seated him with great respect in the midst of assembly. He brought him and made him sit in the midst of the assembly. And Prakashananda Saraswati then said, first time he is speaking, till now they did not consider talking to him. He said, I understand that your name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. You are a disciple of Sri Keshava Bharati. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, though he is a disciple of Ishwarapuri, but sannyasa can be taken from any sannyasi. He had taken sannyasa from one of the sannyasi of the Shankara school. So his name was Bharati, Keshava Bharati. The end name of the sannyasa, Bharati, Saraswati, that denoted 14 different names, Puri. So that denotes the different order levels in the sannyasa. So Chaitanya is also one name. So Chaitanya is considered to be a very lower in the sannyasa order. I understand your name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. You are a disciple of Sri Keshava Bharati. Therefore you are glorious. You are great. You belong to our Shankara Sampradaya. Live in our village, Varanasi. Why then you do not associate with us? Why is it that you avoid even seeing us? You are a sannyasi. Why then do you indulge in chanting and dancing? Engaging your Sankirtana movement in company of fanatics. Why do you do this? Bhauka Sabha Sange Lana Kara Sankirtana. With the all bhaukas, you are engaging in Sankirtana. And you are doing Nartana, Gayana. Meditation and study of the Vedanta are the sole duties of a sannyasi. Vedanta Patana Dhyana Sannyasira Dharma. Why you abandon this to dance with fanatics? Kene bhavukera karma. Why are you doing like that? You look as brilliant as if you were Narayana himself. And he is saying, Prakashananda Saraswati, Prabhura Dekiyat, Prabhara Dekiya, Tama Sakshat Narayana. You are looking like Sakshat Narayana. Will you kindly explain the reason that you have adopted the behavior of lower class people? Why do you do like this? Prabhu kahe. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Prakashananda Saraswati, my dear sir, Shuna Sripada, Ihara Karana, I'll tell you the reason. Guru mere murkha deki karila sashana. Actually, my spiritual master considered me as a fool. And therefore he chastised me. My Guru told me I am a fool. He saw me I am a fool. So he chastised me. Murkha tumi tomara nahika Vedanta adhikara. You are a fool. You are not qualified to study Vedanta philosophy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a great Vedanti. Just now he defeated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya with Vedanta and came. And he was a great Sanskrit scholar. He was conducting a Sanskrit school. Defeated greatest of the Pandita, Keshava Kashmiri. Keshava Kashmiri composed glorifying Ganga in 5 minutes. And he read all the 100 verses what he composed. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said in the 44th verse, in the 3rd line, there is a mistake. So such a great scholar, he is saying, my Guru said I am a fool. And he said, you are not qualified to study Vedanta philosophy, holy name of Krishna. So, that is for, you are not, Tamara Nahika Vedanta Adhikara. Therefore, what you should do is, Krishna mantra japa sada, ye mantra sara. You always chant holy name of Krishna. This is the essence of all mantras or Vedic hymns. He told me, you chant this Krishna name, you cannot study Vedanta, you are a fool, you are unintelligent. Take this mantra, like that my Guru has told. But Krishna mantra haite have samsara mochana. Krishna nama haite prabe Krishnera charana. He said, simply by chanting holy name of Krishna, one can obtain the freedom from material existence. You all are doing that only, all sannyasis. What are you doing? You are trying to come out of the material existence, suffering. By chanting Krishna name, it is possible. Indeed, simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, you will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Nama vinu Kali Kale Nahi Ara Dharma. In the age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than chanting the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. After describing the potency of the Hare Krishna mantra, my spiritual master taught me another verse, advising me to always keep it within my throat. For spiritual progress in the age of Kali, what is that? His spiritual master gave to his throat always to say, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. Since I have received this order from my spiritual master, I always chant the holy name. But I thought that by chanting and chanting the holy name, I had been bewildered. Nama laite mora bhranta haila mana. By chanting, I think I have been gone mad. While chanting the holy name of the Lord in pure ecstasy, I lose myself. Thus I laugh, I cry, dance, sing just like a madman. Hasi, kandi, nachi, gai, ache, madamatta. Then he said, collecting my patience, therefore, I began to consider that chanting holy name of Krishna had covered all my spiritual knowledge. I saw that I had become mad by chanting the holy name. I immediately submitted this at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra you have given me? Kiba mantra dila. Goshani, Kibatara Bala. My dear spiritual master, what mantra you gave me? You told me chant, I started chanting, now I am dancing in ecstasy, I am crying, I am not able to control myself. What mantra you have given? Japite mantra karila pagala. By chanting, I am going mad. What is this mantra you have given me, my dear spiritual master? Chanting the holy name in ecstasy causes me dance, laugh and cry. When a spiritual master heard all this, He smiled and then began to speak. It is the nature of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops loving ecstasy for Krishna. For a devotee who has actually developed bhava, the pleasure derived from dharma, artha, kama, moksha appears like a drop in the presence of the sea. All the happiness in this material world appears very drop, we said. Even the happiness which comes from dharma, artha, kama, moksha, even the liberation, that appears to be a drop in front of Krishna prema. Prema bhakti to Krishna. So like this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered. Then they asked some more questions. Why you are not studying Vedanta? Don't you know Vedanta? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered them. What is actually Vedanta? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes on describing that what is the right understanding of Vedanta. He said, why they are not understanding Krishna is the Lord. So Lord described it very nicely. I will not take much time on this. Then he explained to them, actually Shankaracharya is Shiva himself, Lord Shiva. There is no fault of Shankaracharya. It is Shankaracharya has done his duty of delivering certain message. So one should understand Vedanta Sutra in the right direction, right understanding. Then he gave all the explanation of Vedanta Sutra to them. Then all the Mayavadis, including Prakashan and the Saraswati, everybody surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and became devotees. And Prakashan and the Saraswati, along with the 60,000 disciples in Kashi, became devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Mayavada Bhashya, which actually not the right interpretation of the Vedanta Sutra, if we hear that, we may not get this Kshattanandam Param Lebhe. That's what here it is warned in the purport. Prabhupada mentions that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prohibited us from hearing Mayavada's school. And at last, it is concluded in the purport that how in the Naimisharanya, the Suta Goswami is addressing all Brahmanas. He says, Maha Bhagavato Dvija. He is calling them as Brahmanas. So becoming Brahmana is not the highest. The Brahmana should give time for hearing about Lord. Lord's glories. That is a real perfection of life. So the goal of a Brahmana is to hear Hari Katha, the Bhagavat Katha, so that Brahmana can actually become more and more happy and establish himself in Krishna Prema. So that is the effect of hearing Bhagavatam. With this we'll conclude. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.